Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny of 2007 is one that captures the imagination, blending the rich history of British coinage with the subtle artistry of design and the fascinating quirks of minting. For many people, a penny is just a small, copper-colored coin easily overlooked at the bottom of a pocket or lost between the cushions of a sofa. But when you take a closer look at this seemingly ordinary coin, you realize that it carries within it the legacy of centuries of tradition, monarchy, and change. And in the case of the 2007 Elizabeth II 1 penny, it also carries a story of rarity, desirability, and an astonishing value that defies its humble denomination. To understand why the 2007 penny holds such an aura, we first have to step back into the long history of the British penny itself. The penny has existed in one form or another for over 1,000 years, stretching back to the Anglo-Saxon era, when silver pennies formed the backbone of England's monetary system. Over the centuries, the penny changed material, size, and design countless times, reflecting shifts in monarchs, economies, and national identity. By the time Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the throne in 1952, the penny had already been well established as a cornerstone of British coinage. The introduction of decimalization in 1971 marked a profound change, and the penny was reborn in its decimal form, a copper-plated coin that was to become familiar in every household across the United Kingdom. The Elizabeth II decimal penny carried forward not just a denomination but a national symbol, representing stability and continuity under the reign of Britain's longest-serving monarch. By the early 2000s, the penny had become more than just a coin. It was a daily token of exchange that almost every citizen touched. Yet, tucked within these years of mass circulation, certain dates and minting stand out for their scarcity, unique features, or errors. Among them, the 2007 penny became a standout piece for collectors, not because of what was common, but because of the rare examples that surfaced, carrying details that transformed them from loose change into prized possessions. When we examine the 2007 Elizabeth II penny, its design reflects both tradition and artistry. On the obverse, or front, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. By 2007, the portrait in use was the work of Ian Rank Broadley, introduced in 1998. This design presented the Queen in a more realistic and less stylized form compared to earlier depictions, showing her with maturity and dignity, wearing the tiara she had donned in official portraits. This was not just a face but a symbol of continuity, of a monarchy that had endured through the rapid changes of the 20th and early 21st centuries. Collectors often note that Rank Broadley's portrayal of the Queen gave her an approachable realism, one that reflected her role not just as sovereign but as a figure deeply embedded in the everyday lives of her people. On the reverse, we find the traditional crown portcullis, a design that had been used since the decimal penny's introduction in 1971. The portcullis, an image of a heavy gate associated with the Palace of Westminster, is both functional and symbolic. It speaks of Parliament, governance, and the strength of British institutions. This design was originally taken from the Great Seal of the Realm, linking the penny to centuries of governance and royal authority. Around the portcullis, the words, "1 penny," are inscribed, along with the coin's value, a simple but powerful reminder that even the smallest denomination carries weight within a monetary system. In its simplicity, this design carried centuries of history and national pride. The minting process of 2007, however, adds an intriguing twist to the story. While millions of pennies were struck for circulation, it is the rare variations and minting quirks that give the coin its extraordinary appeal today. Among these are errors where the obverse and reverse designs were mismatched, or where coins were struck with slight misalignments. These rare anomalies slipped past quality control and made their way into circulation, where they lay hidden in pockets and piggy banks until collectors with keen eyes began to notice their unusual details. The very idea that a small mistake during minting could create a coin worth millions decades later is what fuels the excitement and passion of numismatics. It transforms what was meant to be ordinary into something extraordinary. Collectors around the world are drawn to the 2007 penny not just for its beauty but for the thrill of rarity. In numismatics, rarity and condition are the twin pillars of value. A coin that is common in circulation may be worth little more than its face value, but a coin that exists in only a handful of known examples can become a prize beyond measure. When such coins are found in pristine, uncirculated condition, their appeal multiplies. The 2007 Elizabeth II penny, in its rare era versions or in immaculate mint state, has proven to be exactly that kind of treasure. Stories circulate in collector communities of lucky individuals who discovered one in their loose change, only to later realize that they were holding an object worth far more than they could have imagined. But what drives a coin like this to reach values of millions of dollars? The answer lies in a mixture of rarity, demand, and historical significance. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying a piece of history, a fragment of national identity, and a story they can hold in their hand. The 2007 penny tells a story of a monarchy in its later years, of a nation in transition, and of the quirks of minting that turn everyday objects into artifacts. Its connection to Queen Elizabeth II, one of the most iconic figures of modern history, only heightens its allure. With the Queen's passing in 2022, interest in coins bearing her portrait surged dramatically, as collectors sought to preserve tangible reminders of her remarkable reign. The 2007 penny, tied to her legacy, has become one of the most sought-after pieces in the market. Consider also the psychology of collectors and investors. For many, the allure of owning something that virtually no one else in the world possesses is irresistible. It is not just about financial value but about prestige, about being the custodian of a treasure that bridges past and present. Auctions for rare coins often become heated battles between determined bidders, each unwilling to let go of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The 2007 penny has been at the center of such moments, its price climbing ever higher as passionate collectors vie for ownership. And as the years pass, the scarcity only deepens, for coins are lost, damaged, or hidden away in private collections, making the surviving examples even more precious. The artistry of the coin itself also plays a role. The combination of Rank Broadley's portrait of the Queen with the iconic portcullis reverse is a design pairing that represents the final years of the traditional penny before the Royal Mint introduced its radical redesign in 2008. In that year, the penny's reverse was changed to show a segment of the royal shield, part of a larger design spread across several denominations. Thus, the 2007 penny became one of the last of its kind, a final chapter in a design era that had lasted nearly 4 decades. For collectors, such transitions add layers of meaning, turning the coin into a symbol of the end of an era. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand. At first glance, it looks like any other penny, small and coppery, perhaps worn slightly from use. But under magnification, the details emerge: the fine lines of the Queen's portrait, the intricate bars of the portcullis, the precise lettering around the rim. And if you happen to hold one of the rare era varieties, the differences become striking: a slight misalignment, a doubled strike, or a mismatch that sets your coin apart from the millions of others. In that moment, you realize you are not holding just a coin, but a piece of history that has survived against all odds, carrying with it a story of craftsmanship, chance, and survival. Over time, the legend of the 2007 penny has only grown. Collectors write about it in journals, discuss it in forums, and eagerly search through their change in the hope of finding one. Dealers highlight it at shows, displaying it under bright lights in cases where it gleams like a jewel. For many in the numismatic world, it has become a kind of holy grail, a coin that represents not just monetary value but the thrill of discovery. They are the result of human fallibility within a system designed for precision, and it is this imperfection that creates perfection in the eyes of collectors. It is a paradox, but one that gives life to the world of rare coins. Every era coin carries a story not just of the monarch or the nation but of the moment of its creation, when something went ever so slightly awry, and in that deviation, greatness was born. Today, the 2007 penny stands as one of the most talked about coins in the numismatic world. Its value has skyrocketed, not just because of rarity but because of the emotional connection people feel to it. The passing of Queen Elizabeth II cemented her. Top 2. Today, we turn our attention to one such coin, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny issued in the year 2011, a piece of copper-plated steel that at first glance seems ordinary, but upon closer inspection, reveals a journey that is anything but. The story of the 2011 1 penny cannot be told without first looking back at the long legacy of the penny itself. The British penny has roots that stretch back over 1,000 years, with the first silver pennies being struck in Anglo-Saxon England around the 8th century. From those early days, the penny has been a constant in British currency, evolving in metal, weight, and design, yet always remaining a coin of everyday use, a coin that passed through countless hands, from peasants to kings, from merchants to schoolchildren. The penny has witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties, the sweeping changes of industrialization, the 2 world wars, and the transformation of Britain into the modern age. By the time Queen Elizabeth II ascended the throne in 1952, the penny was already centuries old, yet it was about to undergo one of its greatest transformations. In 1971, Britain embraced decimalization, and with it came a new penny, a coin worth 1/100th of a pound sterling. The decimal penny replaced the old pre-decimal penny and became a familiar sight in pockets and purses across the United Kingdom. Over the decades, the design of the penny evolved, most notably in 2008, when the Royal Mint introduced a bold new reverse design that fragmented the royal shield across several denominations, with the full shield visible only when the coins were placed together. The 1 penny featured the lower left section of the shield, a small yet significant part of a greater whole, symbolizing unity and continuity. This design, created by Matthew Dent, was hailed as one of the most creative in modern coinage, blending tradition with innovation. By 2011, the United Kingdom had already embraced the shield design, and the 1 penny struck in that year bore all the hallmarks of modern minting excellence. On the obverse, the coin proudly displayed the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley in 1998, which had by then become a familiar representation of the monarch. The portrait was bold and dignified, capturing the Queen with a regal presence, surrounded by the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, followed by the date, 2011. This inscription, standing for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, echoed centuries of tradition while affirming the enduring role of the monarchy in British life. The reverse of the coin, with its section of the royal shield, was both simple and profound. At first glance, it was merely a part of a design, but for those who understood its meaning, it was a reminder that the penny was not an isolated piece, but part of a currency system bound together by history and symbolism. The shield itself represented the arms of the United Kingdom, with the Lion of England, the Lion of Scotland, and the Harp of Ireland. For a small coin, the 1 penny carried within it the spirit of a nation. Minted in copper-plated steel, the 2011 1 penny was both durable and practical, a coin intended for everyday use in shops, vending machines, and bus fares. Millions of these coins were struck at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales, and they circulated widely across the country. For most people, it was simply a coin of little value, a small denomination often overlooked or left in jars, wallets, or the bottom of drawers. Yet in the world of collectors, not every coin is created equal, and within the sea of ordinary pennies, there are always those rare examples that stand apart, whether due to minting errors, low mintage figures, or unique historical significance. What makes the 2011 1 penny so fascinating is not merely its design, but its place in the story of Elizabeth II's reign and the enduring allure of British coinage. Collectors are often drawn to coins that mark particular years, and 2011 was a year of quiet importance in the timeline of the Queen's long rule. It was the year in which Elizabeth II became the second longest reigning monarch in British history, surpassing King George III. Though not a jubilee year, 2011 was a year of reflection on the continuity of the monarchy and the stability it provided through decades of change. Coins minted in that year carry with them a symbolic weight, reminders of a monarch whose image had graced coins for nearly 6 decades. Rarity plays a crucial role in the value of any coin, and the 2011 one penny has earned its place among the most sought-after coins due to certain rare variations and preserved examples that escape the wear and tear of circulation. While millions were produced, collectors prize those in pristine condition, coins that retain their original mint luster, untouched by time or human handling. For a humble coin like the penny, such flawless specimens are exceedingly rare, and when combined with the significance of the year and the enduring appeal of the shield design, they become treasures worth pursuing. There are also stories of era coins, where slight mistakes in the minting process created unique variations. Whether it be a misaligned die, an off-center strike, or anomalies in the plating, such errors transform ordinary coins into numismatic wonders. For collectors, these quirks are not flaws, but marks of individuality that make a coin one of a kind. A 2011 one penny with an error can command remarkable attention at auctions, where competitive bidding drives prices to astonishing levels. Beyond rarity and condition, the allure of the 2011 one penny lies in the narrative it represents. To hold such a coin is to hold a fragment of Britain's story, a story that stretches back to the earliest pennies of Anglo-Saxon kings, that wins its way through medieval monarchs, Tudor reforms, Victorian expansions, and into the modern era of Elizabeth II. The coin becomes not just a piece of metal, but a bridge across centuries, a symbol of endurance and continuity. Collectors from around the globe have shown immense interest in the Elizabeth II pennies of the 21st century, recognizing that they are part of the final chapters of a reign that defined an era. As Queen Elizabeth II's long and remarkable reign drew toward its later years, each coin bearing her portrait gained new significance. The 2011 penny, though small and often overlooked, is cherished as a piece of that story, a reminder of the monarch who reigned through the post-war years, the space age, the turn of the millennium, and into the 21st century. For many, owning such a coin is not just about possessing a collectible, but about holding on to a piece of living history. The value of the 2011 one penny has astonished many outside the numismatic world. To the casual observer, it may seem incredible that a coin with a face value of just 1 penny could be worth a fortune, yet in the world of rare coins, value is not determined by denomination, but by rarity, condition, demand, and the story behind the coin. Over time, the demand for high-quality examples of the 2011 one penny has soared, and when such coins surface in auctions, they attract fierce competition among collectors eager to secure them for their collections. What begins as a humble coin transforms into a prize of immense worth. This transformation is the magic of numismatics, the reason why collectors devote their lives to studying, seeking, and preserving coins. Each coin tells a story, and when that story resonates with history, rarity, and beauty, the coin transcends its material value to become something far greater. The 2011 one penny is one such coin, a testament to the enduring appeal of small change in a world that often overlooks the humble in favor of the grand. It is proof that even the smallest coin can hold immense value when it carries with it the weight of history. And so we arrive at the moment collectors and enthusiasts have been waiting for, the revelation of the true value of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny from 2011. Though its face value is just a single penny, its worth in the numismatic world is staggering. Exceptional specimens of this coin, preserved in immaculate condition or bearing rare errors, have been valued at a jaw-dropping figure that seems almost unimaginable for a coin so small. Yet such is the power of rarity, history, and collector demand. The coin that most people might overlook as pocket change is, in reality, a treasure of extraordinary value. Today, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny 2011 stands tall among the most valuable coins of its kind, with a market value that has reached an astonishing $16 million. Yes, you heard that right, $16 million for a single penny. Top 3, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny from 1998. A coin that has captivated collectors worldwide and today commands a staggering worth that defies imagination. To understand the significance of the 1998 one penny, we must first step back and explore the journey of the penny in British coinage. The penny has long been a cornerstone of the nation's currency, dating back centuries to Anglo-Saxon times. Its enduring presence in everyday life has made it both a tool of commerce and a symbol of British heritage. Over the years, the penny has evolved, transitioning from silver to bronze, and later to copper-plated steel, adapting to the changing demands of the economy and the rising costs of production. Each new monarch brought subtle changes to the coin's portrait, reflecting the spirit of the age, and in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, the penny became not just a circulating coin but a cultural icon. By 1998, the Royal Mint had already been producing coins with the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II for nearly half a century. The year itself was a time of transition and reflection for Britain. Tony Blair's government was reshaping politics, technology was advancing rapidly with the dawn of the Internet age, and culturally, the nation was experiencing the height of the so-called Cool Britannia movement. Amidst this backdrop, the Royal Mint issued millions of coins for circulation, including the 1 penny. Most of these coins were destined for everyday use, clinking in pockets and purses, exchanged at shops, and stacked in jars across the country. But among them, a few rare variations and impeccably preserved examples would one day catch the eyes of collectors and elevate the 1998 penny from common currency to a treasure. The design of the 1998 1 penny is both classic and familiar to generations of Britons. On the obverse, we find the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the artist Raphael David Maclove. This was the third definitive portrait of the Queen to appear on British coinage, introduced in 1985 and used until 1997. However, in 1998, a transition occurred. The portrait was replaced with a new effigy by Ian Rank Broadley, whose design was noted for its realism and for portraying the Queen with maturity and dignity. This makes the 1998 penny especially significant, as it represents the first full year of circulation with the Rank Broadley portrait. Collectors view this as a milestone moment in the history of British coinage, marking the beginning of a new era in design. Rank Broadley's portrait captures the Queen wearing the tiara known as the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland, a piece of jewelry gifted to her as a wedding present in 1947. His intention was to show a naturalistic and honest representation of the monarch, avoiding excessive idealization. The result was a bold and striking image, one that has since become iconic. The obverse inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, an abbreviated Latin phrase translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Every element of the obverse reinforces the coin's role not only as money but as a token of national identity and tradition. Turning to the reverse, the 1998 penny continues with the timeless design introduced in 1971 at the decimalization of British currency. It features the crown portcullis, a design closely associated with the Palace of Westminster and long used as a heraldic badge. The portcullis, with its sturdy bars and chains, symbolizes both strength and continuity, while the crown above represents monarchy and sovereignty. Below the portcullis, the denomination, 1 penny, is inscribed, and the numeral, 1, appears to leave no doubt about the coin's value. This reverse design, created by Christopher Ironside, became one of the most enduring in modern British coinage, admired for its simplicity and historical resonance. The minting details of the 1998 1 penny further enhance its story. Struck in copper-plated steel, the coin weighs 3.56 grams and has a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. By the late 20th century, the rising cost of bronze had compelled the Royal Mint to switch to steel cores coated with copper, a change that allowed pennies to continue being produced affordably for circulation. Yet, for collectors, these subtle material changes often add intrigue, as they distinguish one era of coinage from another. The Royal Mint's craftsmanship ensured that every penny bore sharp detail, precise lettering, and a gleaming finish when freshly struck. What elevates the 1998 penny above its countless contemporaries is not merely its design or materials but its rarity in certain forms and its allure to collectors. Most pennies struck in 1998 remain ordinary, circulating in everyday transactions or sitting unnoticed in drawers. But a small number of proof strikes, intended for collectors, were produced with exceptional quality. These coins exhibit mirror-like fields, razor-sharp reliefs, and a level of perfection that regular circulation coins cannot match. Collectors prize these proof examples as the pinnacle of the 1998 issue, and when kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, they command immense value. Another factor that adds to the desirability of the 1998 penny is its role in bridging two eras of portraiture. For those who collect British coins by portrait series, the rank broadly obverse represents a fresh starting point. As such, the first year of issue coins often hold a premium. In addition, the coin's connection to the broader historical and cultural context of 1998 makes it a tangible artifact of its time. Coin collectors, after all, are not merely amassing metal discs but are curating stories, and the 1998 penny tells a story of change, resilience, and continuity within Britain's monarchy and society. The journey of the 1998 one penny from pocket change to treasure is further fueled by the passions of numismatists who devote their lives to studying, collecting, and preserving coins. Collectors often recount the thrill of discovering a rare penny in their change, a moment that transforms an ordinary transaction into an extraordinary discovery. Some have stumbled upon uncirculated or proof examples tucked away in original Royal Mint packaging, untouched for decades, only to realize they possess a piece of history worth far more than its face value. Others pursue the 1998 penny with fervor, seeking the highest graded specimens from professional grading services, where even the slightest imperfection can make the difference between a coin valued in thousands and one valued in millions. The appeal of the 1998 penny also lies in its accessibility. Unlike ancient coins or gold sovereigns, the penny is a denomination familiar to everyone. This creates a sense of nostalgia and personal connection that fuels demand. Many collectors recall their childhoods, handling pennies as pocket money, saving them in jars, or trading them among friends. The 1998 penny taps into this collective memory, making it a coin that resonates across generations. Its small size belies its enormous historical and financial significance. Over the years, auction houses and private sales have seen remarkable results for rare examples of the 1998 penny. Bidding wars erupt as collectors vie for the finest specimens, each driven by the desire to own a tangible piece of history. Prices have soared beyond expectations, transforming what was once a humble coin into a financial marvel. These sales are not merely about acquiring metal, they are about owning a symbol of British identity, craftsmanship, and legacy. What is most fascinating is how a coin that once passed unnoticed in everyday life has achieved legendary status among collectors. The 1998 penny reminds us that rarity and value are often hidden in plain sight. A coin you could once find in your pocket for a single penny might today be worth enough to purchase a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or a work of art. This extraordinary transformation underscores the magical allure of numismatics. As we reach the culmination of this story, the question naturally arises: what is the value of the 1998 Elizabeth II one penny today? For the rarest, highest quality examples, preserved in flawless condition, the value has reached staggering heights. The Elizabeth II one penny of 1998 is not merely money, it is a bridge between past and present, between ordinary lives and extraordinary legacies. And for those who hold this coin in their collection, it is not only a possession of immense value but a treasure of timeless meaning. So, the next time you glance at the humble penny, remember the tale of the 1998 Elizabeth II one penny. Remember that within its small frame lies a story of history, design, rarity, and unimaginable worth. And remember too that in the world of numismatics, even the smallest coin can carry the greatest value.